So I think this is our first target right here. We're at the button well. And I'm not sure if this is the shank in the middle, but it's definitely a big slab of pewter, so maybe it was a pewter coat button, something like that. So we'll set this aside, try and get you in on some of the finds now that we've kind of hit a hot spot again. So right here, kind of a thunky signal in the 40s, 50s, sometimes it hits the 60s. And we're gonna dig it. The soil here is loaded with rocks and stuff. It makes it tough. Okay, kind of lost it a little bit, but there's so much iron here, it's unbelievable. So all right, it's right here-ish. Ouch. I'm gonna try and scoop it out. Put it right here. All right, we got it. It's here somewhere. This might be it. It is. This looks like a pewter part of a spoon bowl. Very tip of a spoon bowl right there. Ringing really low, ringing really funky. That's what you're going to get on a 1700 site. Next target. '83 has some iron sound to it. You can see. Looks like I've actually already dug a hole here. Not surprising. It's off the side. You pull a target, you walk around. Okay. Let's get whatever it is. Okay. These always sound good. Another rose now, but it's got shape to it. So the shape kind of fools the detector a little bit. Nada. Okay. '96. Got a fainter target. A little bit deeper, I bet. She's out and repeatable. Drops to a 70. See what she is. Down here somewhere. Ah. Let's put that away. Here we go. Don't think there's a design on it. I think it's just oxidation. We got ourselves a little cuff button. Boom. All right. That's a screamer. Mid-80s. Could be maybe a high brass shotgun shell or something. I don't think it's... If it's something old, it's something big. Oh, geez, look at that. We'll have to check that hole again because that was... There's a tiny little shank on that one. It was right there. Right near the surface. I don't think there's anything on that one either. You know, I said like 2 targets ago, this is going to be my last one, and this is what happens with this place. You go to leave, and all of a sudden you start hitting buttons. Let's check this hole again. All right. So we're gonna head up that way, and we'll go together here for a minute because this spot has some other sites here, and the next one I found kind of a privy, and the privy had an 1860 fatty Indian here. So this particular site has only had 1700 stuff, best we could tell. A couple, you know, a King George and a Connecticut copper and a bunch of old buttons that are drilled shank and stuff like that. That's an iron signal. We'll leave that for another day. That though, that's not an iron signal. Well, I guess we'll dig this one live together. Pop in right here. Go over. She's out of the hole. Pinpoint it. This little guy right here. Look at that. That is a pewter button. Would be something if it said USA on it. That'd be amazing. This one's actually probably one of the better pewter buttons I found here. So, I'm not sure how we're going to take extra special care of this one, but jeepers. Check the hole and move on to the next one. Button, 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 button. That's how this hole is, or this place is. We're going to check this real quick with a pinpointer before we go. That's like iron probably. Could be even in the soil still. I'm gonna make sure I didn't kick something out on edge on the surface. No. Okay. Nothing there. Cover our tracks a little bit here. I don't like that enough. But hey, I like that one. Right at the base of this tree, 76 target. Let's kind of give her a little popsy. Go like this. Let's see what we got. Okay. Definitely manipulated it in some way. Doo-doo-doo. Oh yeah. Let her out. She's right there. So there's a rock here. That's gonna be let's go a little careful if there's a rock there. We'll pull the rock. Right here. Come in like way behind it. Pop the target up like that. Let's try and roll this hole. Ooh. 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 That is a spectacular pewter button. There's still cloth. Well, maybe. It still appears to be cloth. We're going to leave that dirt intact. Wow. That's impressive. That is an impressive hole. Can't believe I forgot my Purdue box. Unbelievable. We're gonna check that one again. Nothing. 71 target. Big button. Iron. This whole area here clearly needs more of a tickle. But I resolved to go hit this 1800s. It's just a short walk. So hopefully we can make it out of here. I'm gonna get that. See this right here? This isn't me. I brought a couple people out here. This is their handiwork, leaving open holes because they think they're in the forest. What's worse about that is, listen to this. 61, 62. I fill the hole, and the target is still there. And the spoil, they got to, whoever it was couldn't find whatever it was, so. And look at this. Not even in the hole. Another bad to the bone pewter button. That's a shame for somebody right there. That's a heartbreaker. That's a heartbreaker. We'll delicately set her in this and keep moving. All right, here's our next signal. Not great. Pull some of this overburden off it. Kind of right there-ish. We're hitting another rock, so we'll pop out whatever's there and see where we're at. And it's out. Drop to a 67. I think we've got it right here. That to me, even though it's kind of flat, I'm guessing that's smashed bullet. Smashed something. Alright, right here. That's pretty bad, but there's a log there, so let's move it. That's not good either. Registering a 1 iron. I could go for a little piece of iron right now, so let's take a little peek. Okay. Maybe right here. It's down here in the sidewall, I think. Try and pop her up. and difficult, indicative of iron. But you just sometimes don't know. Ah, yes, there it is. My magnificent piece of bean pot that looks like the Batman. Alright, so here's that hole. This is the next one. Double tapping, 40s, 50s, means it's probably close to the surface. I'll check with a pinpointer. Oh yeah. Is this it? Sure is. This is 100% bullet in a piece of tree. There it is. All right. High 60s, mid 70s signal right here. I'm gonna pop this one up, kind of like this a little bit. There's some fruit going on right there, something. Okay, let's fold that out of the way. Oh, on the shovel, did you see that? It was on the shovel, stuck to it. Big old, looks like it's gonna be a tomback. Sometimes I can shine the edge up here, but big old button. All right, on to the next target. Sounds like there might be two targets here. One here, one here. So you hear it. We'll extract this target first. So that's out. Ah, there it is. That is a nice tomback. It's actually still pretty shiny. I mean, these will all clean up. There we go. Now, we'll live dig the next target as well, because that was right next to it. As you could hear, very similar signal. Let's check our hole here first. Okay. Right here, we'll just a little bit lower. And then drop that off to the same side. Let's see what we got. Okay, this area here. Maybe. Where are you at? I don't think that's it. That looks rockish. Amazing. Very similar signals, and yet one of them is a 22 shell casing. We'll check. Nothing. That's how close this place is sometimes. Patch her up. A little camo. Pretty thunky signal. But the inquisitive mind prevails always in my hands. Pretty far deep. If that is indeed the target. check it. This is probably iron. We knew that from the start though. Alright. Maybe here? Nope. Ah. What do we got here? This is a horseshoe fragment. 100%. There's half. The other half will be over here. Very shrewd horseshoe. Very crude. Shrewd. I'll laugh a minute. On to the next. Alright, now I'm going to predict this shot, okay? Because listen to this. A delicious signal, 0 VDI. 2 directions. Only hits a dead center. My best guess? Rock. Knowing that I'm doing this live, hopefully I'm wrong. The rocks around here do that. But boy, does that sound juicy. So whatever it is going crazy and it's out. Oop. Ah, we do have something here. Ooh. Ooh. Look at how nice that button is. With the shank. That's incredibly nice. Wow. That's probably the coolest little flat button I've ever found. All right, we'll check the hole. That was a pleasant surprise. That was a pleasant surprise. You know, if every time I called rock on a live dig like that, and I got something like that, I'd be a happy boy. I'm having a Keebler moment here. That's definitely poop. With a 91-94 signal. And it's not in the poop. So that's an interesting sign. Boy, it does stink though. Move that off to the side here. We're gonna go in pinpointer. And kind of root around in here a little bit. I heard something down there. I mean, if it's down in here, apparently poop marks the spot. Okay. $95. All right. What do we got here? Huh. Looks like we got ourselves a copper. No idea what it is, but it's definitely coinage. No shank, has a nice tinniness to it. It looks like There's a bust facing right. You can kind of see the bottom of it here. Maybe a trait bust. Boy, if that's an LC, I'll be impressed. Might be some kind of state copper. But, gosh, under the piece of poop. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You can't make that stuff up. You just can't. There's a little piece of pewter I forgot yesterday. Unbelievable. Let's scan this again. Boy, was she a screamer, too. And inevitably, you knew I was going to step in the poop, didn't you? Didn't you? Yep. Unbelievable. All right. Here we have another tone that's this way. It's pretty rough. It's probably iron, but she's repeatable. Repetition is a good thing, even when it's iron. All right, so she's around here somewhere. I don't think it's in there. I think it's still down the hole. Sounds to me like mineralization. Oh. Kind of getting something out of this area. Let's go in from here. Rip her up. Looks like we got a root. So maybe we'll try and jog over a little bit. If we can get on this side of the root, it'd be nice. All right. All right. Now, having trouble finding the target. So we're going to go back to our detector. Check our spoil. Okay. Picks it up dead center hole. So there's some stuff going on here. I'm going to try going out this way, I think. Because I didn't really hit any root there. I'll just give you a... Alright. I'll toss some out over here. Back to our pinpointer. There she is, right there. This mineralization, this target. Okay. There's a struggle here. This root action. Nada. I might need to come in way over here and pop this soil out from the backside, like so, and fish her up, like that. Aha! And there we have appears to be a pocket knife. Nice, solid, repeatable, and like I was saying, something like that that sounds sweet and is iron, sometimes it's something good. I'm going to give this a little touch up. Probably bone scale in there, so it'll be kind of delicate. And pins. scales would be on there, but this part here might be brass. Barlow knife. She gonna fit in the Purdue? Oh, like she ain't even trying. Not in there though. I'm gonna stick that in with a copper. Boom. Alright. I think that was our second to last target, because we're gonna start heading out, and I'm definitely gonna dig one more target, but after that, we's done for the day. It'll be dinner time. All right. 87, 85 right there. Right off the center of the plug. Sounds pretty decent. Pretty chunky, whatever it is. It's a crazy colorization off that log. All right, let's hit it with a detector again. So it's right in here. Ooh, what do we have here? That is, without a shadow of a doubt, another coin. Not sure what this one's gonna be, but we'll definitely take it. Let's whip out the old Purdue. First target of the day, coin. Has some edge damage to it, but I don't care about that. Ooh, I see something there around the edge. So this is going to probably be the bus side. It says INDE, so this is going to be a Connecticut copper. Not sure if you can see that. So this is how the coin would sit, with Britannia on the center. And then this is the bus side. Alright, we'll check the hole. And on to the next. Alright, so here's the wrap up we're going to do. I'm going to go through all these finds a little bit. So I'm going to set you down and kind of show you what we got going on here. Stabilize the camera. So let's go through the pewter pieces first. So here's that original slab of pewter, the first thing we saw in the video, and you can see how it kind of looks like a shank there, but if that's a pewter button, it's massive. Here's the little pewter spoon ball, very crude in its manufacture. This is the button that was found in somebody else's haul. It's kind of a neat design. Shank is missing off the back, but a nice kind of conical design there. This one, it's flat, kind of an unusual shape to the back side of it, but it is very flat, almost looks silver wash on this side. So I think I'm going to roll that one button. Little tiny piece of pewter here, and if you look at the back, it does have a shank, so it must have been a cast button at one time, but she's shot. This one looks like it had a fun little sunburst design on it. Does have an intact shank, so we sealed that one up. And then here's the pièce de résistance button. Boy, look at that thing. Lots of detail, very intricate in its design. Still has the shank intact, cast marks there. So that's it for the piece of pewter. All right. Now we're going to move on to, maybe we'll do the tomback buttons next. So here's one, cleaned up pretty nice, intact shank. There's another one right there, same size. So we found a matched set of those. But this one's got a different style shank. This one's a much older style shank. Even though it's the same size, this one is drilled. So you can see the difference here between the two. It's got a wire shank. It's got a drilled shank. We got this little baby tomback. Shank's a little bent. Cool little design. Moving on, here's our brass target buttons. This one, small little convex cuff button. We got ourselves a flat button with shank. Another flat button, this one with a more intact shank, different style backing on it. This one was that beautiful design that I had a great signal on but couldn't get a VDI number. I'm really attracted to that flat button. And there's the shank on that one. We're bent, but in good shape. This one here, this is definitely the biggest button. Big old dandy coat button. And it actually still had this piece of overgarment on the button. So I saved that because that's a neat little piece of history there. That's the actual clothing that person wore in the 1790s. And out there, this is the only broken piece of button I found. So you can see it's got a little bit of a bevel on the edge there. I never found the other piece. The only other broken object I've really found there was a shoe buckle. So we'll have to continue to go back and try and find that. I think, see how there's a little hole in this? Now I think this little piece of lead is probably a homemade fishing sinker. But if you think otherwise, let me know. Some of these I didn't get on film. This is one of these objects. Found the key. This must be, this is really the only time I've ever seen an iron key. So I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to do electrolysis on it. This is pretty flimsy looking up here. But I might try and do that because the iron there is pretty resilient. That Barlow knife. You can see all the pins that would have been on there, probably for bone scale. There's your pins. Blade long since corroded away. And last but not least, the two coins in order. So this first coin, you can kind of make it out here. This is a King George III. There's the backside. Backside's pretty wiped. If I get a light shining here. There we go. You can see the bust facing right there. So it's a KG3. Really nothing noteworthy to see on the back. Pretty white back there. But the front looks great, I think. Next one, the other copper. This is our, and you can see the CON right there and our bus facing left. That is our Connecticut copper. And on the back side, I don't know if I can get this to pop or not, but right here, there we go. There is our, I don't know if this is considered Britannia or what this is. Actually, it's more like this. You can see the IND, and it says INDE and then ET up top. So I'm not sure what variation of this is, but I thought, even though this isn't a British coin anymore, I thought this was still considered Britannia, but I'm probably wrong about that. But you can kind of get that detail there, flip it around. Must be some kind of die rotation because it doesn't line up with anything one side to the other. But that's a Connecticut copper. And that wraps up the finds thus far for the video hunting of the button mill. I've gotten probably 35 other buttons and stuff out of there. 2 other coins have come out of there. One found by my buddy Robert, one by myself. I took a couple people out there. I doubt he's the one that left the holes that way, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little journey, and we'll see you on the next hunt. So this is the weirdest thing I've seen. In the park, gold coins, diamonds, stones. It's funny, I don't know what that's from.